Hi there and welcome to Gaining Vision. I'm Melanie. Have you had an opportunity to subscribe to the channel yet? If not, take a second, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to like and share. As you know, I'm a special education teacher, and I wanted to talk about the long-standing discussion of integration versus segregation for individuals with disabilities in different platforms. So first we're going to discuss about schools. I am fully supportive of inclusive learning environments, so that means integrating individuals with various disabilities into a regular classroom if their needs are being supported. So what do I mean by that? In Canada, the classroom sizes are huge right now. Usually teachers have 28 to 30 students per teacher. They're lucky if they have an educational assistant or a teaching assistant in the classroom to support the learning. If an individual with a disability can be part of the classroom and their educational needs are being met, which means their IEP is being fulfilled during those teaching opportunities, I think it's an amazing thing. A lot of classroom teachers have taken courses in special education and are able to facilitate their learning successfully. And sometimes the student may also have a personal educational assistant working directly with them, which is a great way to ensure that the IEP goals are being met. It's an excellent opportunity for the kids to see each other as equals, so there's not a lot of teasing or bullying on the playground from kids from a separate class. However, in all situations, if their educational needs are not being met in the classroom, I am in support of additional assistance. What that means is perhaps withdrawing the student in a certain subject into a smaller group setting where they can do more hands-on learning. It doesn't have to be all the time. They're still part of the class, but perhaps in one particular subject where they may not be meeting their needs in that full class, they're taking it into a smaller room with perhaps 2, 3, or 4 other students to do some more specific learnings in a different environment. That could be because it may be harder to focus in a large classroom. It could also be that they need more specific one-on-one education, so they don't want to be centered out. Sometimes individuals with disabilities have different learning needs in the fact that they learn differently, so perhaps it's more doing hands-on training that's important. However, it is important to teach the student from a very young age to learn how to advocate for themselves. As a child, they may not know how to do that as effectively, and that's where the parents come into it. Having an inclusive classroom also engages parents to get involved, which is a great thing, but also not all kids like having their parents around. So we want to make sure that each situation is looked at on an individual basis, finding the best needs for the student and what's going to work best for them. Also keeping in mind the teacher has the supports they need in place, whether that's extra bodies to help out, making sure that he or she has time to allocate for different paperwork, different lesson planning, because as a teacher you have to be able to accommodate your lesson plans for the different styles of learning. Then you move to extracurricular activities, and I'll just use sports as an example. This is a situation where I feel, this is my opinion of course, that it's important for individuals with disabilities to have a different club of sports. And the reason for this is safety, perhaps the accommodations or adaptations to a certain sport, because there are so many groups out there that have different sports, whether it's sledge hockey, perhaps it's goalball, which is when individuals with vision loss play a form of soccer, but the ball has it's actually like dodgeball, not soccer, and the ball has a bell in it. So instead of seeing the ball come out, they hear it. Still a really engaging, interactive sport, but for them to learn and practice in a safe environment, I really feel it's important for them to learn in a group that is with focus on individuals with disabilities. That doesn't mean that there's not a lot of groups that have people without disabilities in those groups as well, after the individuals have learned the skill sets. There's a lot of active, able-bodied people playing wheelchair basketball, but they have to be in a wheelchair, so they have the sports wheelchairs available and they play. So that's